We got Richard from South Shields next. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Alan.
Hello there.
I've got a few things for you. I've been listening to what's going on, right? Do you know what, with you saying about finding a job and stuff? Right? Well, I don't know what sort of job. You says that people on depression that get sick money or whatever.
A lot of people are claiming that they're depressed because they can't find a job, so they're going to give them jobs.
Oh, well, do you know if you suffer from depression? I mean, I've never come across a job that doesn't make you depressed.
Right. Well, you mean every job makes you depressed?
Well, I mean, if you're in a job and you really like the job that you're in, and then the company becomes like receivership or bankrupt or whatever, I mean, it's going to cause you a lot more depression if you hadn't had that job in the first place. It's
going to cause you stress, definitely.
So, I mean, like, if you've got...
Well, what happens if that company gets taken over and everybody gets a huge bonus?
Yeah, but I mean, you're just going round in a vicious circle, aren't you? If you're trying to cure your depression by getting a job and then the job that you're in, and then you go bankrupt.
Yeah, but if somebody said to me, I'm really depressed because I haven't got a job, the first thing that I would do is try and find them a job so that they wouldn't be depressed and they'd be doing something to keep them occupied instead of just sitting there feeling miserable.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's the case, because the way I look at it is you've got things that are like jobs that make you depressed. Do you know what I mean? Like this thing with the shooting in London,
right?
Where the man got shot, and he's got like about £4 or £5 million worth of equipment that they can use to find out whether he's got a gun or not on his person by X-ray machines and thermal imaging equipment. Yet he still got shot in the space of the time. So I mean, these people don't understand or fully know what they can do with the technology that they've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I keep hearing about these science fiction James Bond style gadgets. The reality of the streets of London at the present moment are you don't walk around with that kind of kit so you can see through people's clothes. I mean, it's just not realistic, is it?
But you can. I mean, do you know, like this airport stuff? You can walk through and they can walk you through a machine, right?
Yeah.
Like even if you go into some sort of Crown Court or
like a metal detector.
Yeah. So I mean, if you can get that in places like Crown Courts and airports and stuff, how can you not get stuff like that at like if there's an incident, and the only way you can find out if the person's got a gun or not is by doing this extra thing with them. I mean, that would be the better way for to do it, wouldn't it?
Well, it would, but if you think that there are literally millions and millions of people that use the tube in London every day, and the amount of time that it takes for people to take their shoes off, put all their metal belongings into the little metal dish, queue up, and stand behind the people in front to go through a metal detector... oh
no, that's not the case with thermal imaging equipment though, because thermal imaging equipment that they use for things like heat detection, if you've got something like a gun hidden and you're x-rayed with a thermal imaging camera, like something that the people use to detect fires, like fire brigade officers and stuff, you can actually see what they've got on the person just by the heat in which, like, if they've got it on the from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet, and you've got a thermal imaging camera and you're standing watching them. So
if they've got a gun, that's all right, but if they're carrying explosives, you won't find it?
Well, no, it'll all come up. It'll show up like a black...
Well, it'll look like your wallet, or it'll look like your purse, or it'll look like your mobile phone, or it'll look like... There's 1,000 things that it could be like. You're going to have to strip search everybody, aren't you?
It's not actually the case of that, though, is it? Because, like, well, I'm not saying it can prevent it 100% or whatever.
It just doesn't work. It's not that of it, because if it was that simple, it would be used in every country on the planet, and it's not used on any. That tells you all you need to know, that it's not effective.
But if you've got, like, thermal imaging cameras where the police use them in streets, like where they put the red lights on a camera which is like a police camera, and they can see what you're doing in the middle of the night, even if it's really pitch black dark.
Yeah. Yes.
And they've got things like on helicopters and stuff.
Well, we use them for the filming that we do, thermal imaging. We use it everywhere we go, but it doesn't let you see what's under people's clothes. Not at any level. It just makes the night time look like it's daytime. That's all it does.
Yes, but like the heat signature of a thing like a thermal imaging camera, if you had something that was there, like a gun, it would show up on the thing like an X-ray, wouldn't it?
Would it? Why?
Well,
why would it be warm?
No, well, it wouldn't. It would show up cold, wouldn't it? And it would show up the shape of a gun, or the shape of something that was...
Unless it had been under his arm for 20, 35 minutes, in which case it would be the same temperature as everything around it, so you wouldn't see it at all.
Well, I don't know, but there must be a way how to detect things like that.
Right.
Like, in stuff like that. Because, you know, when you've got an X-ray, and you go down, like, for something like a broken jaw or a broken arm or something, or a broken leg, they can put you in an X-ray machine like that, where you've got to stand behind the box, I think, at the hospital. But if you think about all of these things, if you're walking past something like that, and they say X-ray is in use, something like an airport or anything, and you've got to put your luggage and all that through, or walk through it, well, that would be a much better way of detecting all of these people.
Well, it doesn't detect the people, it just detects what they're carrying.
But it's a prevention, isn't it? Like, I mean...
But the problem is, the whole point is that people getting on buses and people getting on trains, there's so many people that do it, you can't hold them up long enough to do all of those things. That's why they're always going to be a softer target.
Yeah, but there's
airports, yes, you do. You have time, and they're spending sufficient money to be able to have proper security. But the trains, the buses, taxis, you're never going to be able to get that, are you?
But there's other ways to detect if you've got something in your possession, like a bomb or anything.
And what's that?
Because I mean, well, a person like, say, a mind reader or a hypnotist.
Right, now we're getting silly again, Richard, are we?
Well, not really, because a person like that can put you in a situation where you have to tell the truth. If you
so,
walk
okay,
past
there's 30,000 people going into a metro station,
right?
And you've got a mind reader. What's he going to do?
Well, a hypnotist would put up a sign, right, that everybody in that place would read. If you've got something like that you're going to do, and it's something to do with a terrorist act, you will shout out your name as loud as you can, and that's what you do. And then once you've shouted out your name, you go.
Yeah, but you
can get
see,
arrested.
the hypnotist would have to have hypnotized all of those people. A sign can't hypnotize somebody.
Well, in your regression thing, right, where you bring people from in these past lives and stuff, what you've gotten from, right, because they have to tell you exactly what. I mean,
what they're saying.
Exactly. If you regressed a person, like how you do it,
but you have to do that.
If you were a terrorist,
but you have to
wouldn't be able to not tell the truth, would they?
You have to do that on the you have to do that on a one-to-one. You can't do it with 30,000 people at a time.
But it's mass. You can do it on mass. Hypnotists can hypnotize a lot, or somebody like David Copperfield. He can, as an illusionist, you can make things disappear or appear. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, but you used the word there, an illusionist.
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with the truth.
He's just hypnotising you to say that thing's not there, like the building.
30,000 people going to work are not going to be instantly hypnotised by somebody clicking their fingers while he's standing next to W.H. Smith's. That's just ridiculous.
Well, you can... There must be a way how you can mass hypnotise people.
Mass hypnotise everybody?
Well...
But isn't that a crime? Wouldn't that be a crime? Wouldn't that be against people's human rights?
It's not a crime if you're deterring everybody from being a terrorist. Because if you mass hypnotise everybody, right, and you say that you're not going to commit all of these things, you don't do it. You know what I mean? And if you do, or you attempt to do it, you get locked up, or you get stopped from doing it.
It's just not going to happen, though. So you're talking about it, but it's just impossible.
It must have happened because this guy got shot at London, right? And he was there, and he must have been doing something wrong, and the police shot him. Because they don't just shoot you because you're innocent. there must have been some way.
I think you have to look at the situation. It's a situation where a lot of people had died the week before, and suddenly there'd been the possibility of half a dozen other things happening.
Right.
And then suddenly, at a time when everybody was completely freaked out and paranoid that something was going to happen at any time, there was an overreaction. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. They're going to have an inquiry. I hope that brings the truth.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you think about, like, FBI and CIA operatives, like all of these Secret Service people and stuff, right?
Darren's just said, Alan, click your fingers and tell him to sleep. That's brilliant, thank you.
But you must believe in stuff like the X-Files and stuff for them to come up with. Well, you go around regressing all these people and you find out if they've been a ghost or they've had a past life or whatever.
Regression's got nothing to do with whether you're a ghost.
But it must work somehow, because you're not just getting all this information out of somebody because they're making it up. Mm-hmm. It's the truth, isn't it?
I believe that it is.
You've just got to find it, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
And you found it in your idea because you can regress a person.
One at a time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can do that though, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
So the truth is there, what I said about all of these things happening, where you can get the... I mean, you would... If you come across somebody and you regress them, right, you would know if they were a terrorist or not, because they'd tell you, wouldn't you? They would tell you...
Well, they'd be telling me what they've experienced in a previous life. That's got nothing to do with what they're doing in this life. So there's no reason why...
What you've got there.
There's no reason why they should tell me anything they don't want me to know, because they're wide awake. They're not asleep and they're not hypnotised.
No, but they're telling you all about the things that they can't tell lies.
They're experiencing... Well, what do you mean they can't tell lies? They're wide awake. They can say what they like, I suppose.
So you're saying that all of the people that you've regressed, there could have been a liar amongst one of them, or whatever?
Well, anything's possible, of course. I mean, the thing that I aim for is to get facts from people that we can corroborate, that we can prove. And then that makes it true.
Right, but I honestly thought that you were hypnotising somebody or regressing them or whatever, and everything that they said, it would have to be what they experienced.
That's what that's what I believe.
Well, you're getting the truth out of that person.
I hope so, yes.
Well, if you can do that to a person, why didn't you...
But the thing is, when I talk to people on night owls, I hope I'm getting the truth out of them.
Oh, well, that's what I mean, but...
Because they're wide awake, and they're telling me their stories or their tales, and I hope they're telling me the truth. But I would be fairly stupid if I didn't think that there was the possibility that somebody might just have lied to me once or twice. Because that's bound to have happened.
So it's not 100% safe?
What?
What will you do? With this regression and that?
Well, I'm not just talking about regression. I'm talking about talking to people like you. How do I know? How do I know you're not lying to me?
I wouldn't tell you lies.
Well,
cross me heart. I would not tell you lies about anything.
All right.
Because it's not worth it. Because you can get like all of these things. If I told you lies, it could just further down the line. It could ruin my life as well as everybody else's that I said something about.
Okay. Wait, Richard, thank you for all of that again. We're getting... Yeah, it's like the Gong Show. As soon as Richard comes on, we get loads of people ringing in saying, stop him, shut him up, and all the rest. He's allowed to have his say. That's fair dues. He's had it. And Robin Whitley Bear describes him as a certain kind of head and says, I would never use public transport again if I thought Paul McKenna was trying to hypnotise me just when I go on the metro from Cullercoats to North Shields. Well, of course not. And we get some... Get rid of him, he's getting on my nerves like he does every time he phones in and says, Katie, thank you.